get you an idea of what's taking place beyond our borders now. Let's begin in Zimbabwe. That's where schools have reopened after the government there relaxed lockdown restrictions. Now teachers want to be vaccinated before they can get back to class. They have also raised concerns over low salaries. Government had postponed the reopening of schools in January due to an increase in COVID-19 cases in that country. Newzroom Africa's Xolisani Ncube has more.
After a long wait, schools have reopened and learners are getting back to learning. Some educators aren't willing to risk their lives in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic. They want to be vaccinated against coronavirus before they would resume work.
For the avoidance of doubt, I will tell you that at the PTUZ level, we lost about 23 teachers that we can obviously put down their names and say such a teacher, such a teacher. And the truth of the matter is, on the ground, the impact was felt, and we don't want a repeat of that. And apparently it was purely because teachers went for marking. There wasn't any proper protocols that were followed when they got there. There was no adherence to the set down procedures and standards and the requirements that one would have wanted, those that are being agitated for by the World Health Organization and other health institutions. So we don't want to be found wanting in that particular regard.
Besides the fear of the COVID-19 pandemic, which has so far claimed more than 1,500 people in Zimbabwe and infected more than 36,000, educators want to be paid a living wage. They say the current salary of 14,000 Zimbabwe dollars, which is equivalent to 1,700 rands, is too little to sustain their families.
Then come to the real issue, the crux of the matter. Are teachers earning a salary that can recall them back to work? No. And so for basically two reasons. If you are going to do a comparative analysis of teachers who are in civil service versus their friends, wives, relatives who are working in CIO, who are working in the army, who are working in the police, all of a sudden you find out that teachers are earning almost half of what a police officer is earning. And that in our situation is unacceptable.
Due to COVID-19 pandemic, the country education system was disrupted in 2020, with only privileged being able to afford online lessons, while the majority who live below the poverty index were left without access to education. The resumption of lessons have given hope to parents that their children would be able to salvage the lost time and prepare for their future. Schools have put up measures to protect both learners and educators from the virus as the possibility of a third wave looms. Government says negotiations for wage review between state and its workers are underway and schools mustn't be disturbed by the talks. For Newzroom Africa on Channel 405, I am Xolisani Ncube in Harare, Zimbabwe.